Well, bugger me, I've just bought the GoPro out and it's flat. I charged it up the other day, went to put it in the car, and left it. I've got the SD card, so it's been unplugged for a few days and it's flat. I don't think it was fully charged before. Anyway, let me just get you on the old that's better. Well, at least I think it's better. I'm filming this on my telecommunication device. Anyway, yesterday, me and Rose went to the welcome cap at Melton Mowbray on Red the Z, aka Spurt Reynolds, and yeah, good ride. Went up by Lutterworth Market Harbour and headed out for Melton Mowbray that way. Quite a nice ride, except it was slightly damp. In fact, it was pissing down at one point, but the Z handled really nice. But one thing I did notice is we are not small people, and the main stand was catching quite early, but I haven't touched the rear shock, and even in standard form they're set up fairly soft. I'm not having any problems with the front end at all. The front end's tracking beautifully. The brakes are coming around nicely. I've got some sintered pads, but I might just leave them off until they actually need changing. Or I can change them and use those as spares. But if I change the pads up, then got to bed them in again and all that lot. It's not a biggie. It's not a biggie at all. Right. The only other thing I noticed is at work the other day, I had to wait at a traffic light for a long time on an incline. So, of course, I held the bike on the rear brake. And when I looked down by my foot, the rear brake had a little puddle under it, under the master cylinder. And I don't know whether you can see. Yes. Ooh. It's actually leaking from the top of the master cylinder. Now, it passed the brake roller test on the back brake. Everything was good. Nothing of concern. But I have just gone to nip the banjo bolt up, and it was finger tight. So what I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be doing a few jobs. It's 6 a.m. on a Friday, by the way. I've been up since 4:30 with the Dawn Chorus. I'm going to remove the banjo, remove the washers, re-anneal the washers, clamp them all back down again, re-bleed the system. I've got to take the side panels off because I haven't looked at the rear suspensione. I've greased it with a grease gun, but let's get under here. Oh, lovely. Yes, I could definitely do with a bit of a clean up on the old rear suspensione. So yes, so I shall be doing that, and I shall be adjusting the rear shock because there's loads and loads and loads and loads of threads left to up the preload. Solo riding, it's actually quite good, but this is predominantly going to be taking pillions, so I want to stiffen the rear shock up. So that is my little job over this weekend. I'm also going to get my cordless jet wash out and give her a good whopping over because she got shit up yesterday. And I've also got another one of these panels because this one, obviously, it's got tape on it. The panel is secure. Don't worry about that. But I've got an undamaged one, fingers crossed, from a burr. And then we can, get all these bolt holes working for us, etc, etc. But yeah, on the whole, very happy with Spurt Reynolds so far. So I'm going to stop this here and go and charge the bloody GoPro.
Jim! Rose Rosie! Rosie and Jim, Rosie and Jim.
It's rather early, Saturday morning. I've had a very good couple of days. I've had a little motorcycling adventure on Spurt with Rose on Thursday. Went to the Welcome Calf. We got rather damp. Yesterday I went to the Welcome Calf with Uncle Barnyard, and today, Saturday, I fully intended to get up early and go for an early morning adventure. Choice of a couple of bikes out there, choice of Spurt, but one thing that's bugged me since I've had him, oh hang on, oh glad I've had a poo, is a Spurt's dirty undercarriage. So yes, I've just got some degreaser on there, and I'm going to get some penetrating fluid on the bolts, because I can guarantee you they won't want to move. So some heat may be applied, but I am going to strip the linkage out, get the shock out, which is in a shocking state. Bollocks. And the idea is to get the shock out, give it a bit of an eBay refurb, and adjust the preload so the main stand isn't catching. The other option is, of course, to take the main stand off, but it is so handy for maintenance, I would rather keep it and adjust the shockage, which needs desperate cleanage. So yes, adventure on hold, silly little job day I think. There is a local bike meet later, a new one starting up, and it's literally a couple of villages away. It's probably about 5 miles. And I may attend. Weather is supposed to be good today. It's a bit at the moment, but weather is supposed to be very good today. And the idea of the bike meet is it's going to start as just a little meet and like bar food, whatever, food, and because the weather's good, it's supposed to be then going into a barbecue later. So I've got the option to go there. There's a vintage car show on tomorrow at the Welcome Calf, Melton Mowbray, and that's an option. So we'll just see. But for now, I'm going to let the magic gunk do its stuff, and then I shall get busy with the fuzzy. Yes, lovely. Yeah, turn the camera off. There's a good boy. Yes, yes, yes. Right, I can actually get to all that to clean it. It was a right sod. All the nuts and bolts were what we call German Torx-Beck, good tight. But yes, the shock is out, and yes, as you can see, it needs a clean up. The good thing about the ZZR shock, now I'm saying this before I attempt it, is that the adjustment rings on the end, I mean look at all the shite falling off, that's just muck. The adjustment rings, we've got to clean these threads up, but you can actually back these all the way off, take the spring off. It's one of the rare Japanese forked arsehole shocks that you can do that on, and then we can give the spring a good wire wheeling and a piss of paint. We can give the body the same treatment and a tss. So I'm just going to dunk that in a nice big bucket of hot soapy water. Yes. The only downside I can see is if I want to get that linkage out, the top bolt also holds the springs for the main stand on, and historically I have a lot of trouble putting these springs back on. In fact, one could say one fights like a right fucking bastard. So I'm tempted. I mean, that linkage is moving quite freely. There is a grease nipple on it. I'm tempted just to get in there, clean it up, leave it as it is. I will get the other two bushings out, but they're all moving okay. But clean it up, and we'll go on from there. And one of the good things is that I've noticed that where the main stand bolted to the ZX10, that was a favourite place for the frame to crack. The brackets would crack against the frame, and it's quite common on the ZX10 to see that these have been re-welded. These seem okay, so yes. Anyway, enough waffle, let's carry on. Yes, Jim, carry on.
A few moments later.
Oh, let's turn that off before we go to copyright strike. There is a great joy in having a huge drain pan and 5 litres of gunk. Scrubby time. Right, it's had its initial clean up, but ideally I want to split it all down to get the proper job. I've got the top ring off using C-spanner, and I mean, you can hold that bit in the vise and spin it off, but I'm holding it there and just holding the top. Naturally this is a little bit tougher because it's got the spring pressure on it, but that should back off soon enough. And what I'm doing, I'm putting copious amounts of GT85 and carb cleaner and all that lot on it as it backs off the threads, because it'll help clean the threads, because these are very, very fine, and these rings can be sods to get started again. They've got to be absolutely square. So with that in mind, I'll carry on. Delicious. Right, we're at the point where we've released the spring pressure, and we can just spin that top ring out now, take the spring off, give that a cleaning, and I think I might even go gold with the spring. Ooh, Jimmy. I'm just going to go sort of engine enamel black on the shock body. It's purely to keep the weather out. And then if the jaws of the vice are wide enough, sketchy time, we have a little trick for the spring. You can actually put it in the vice and compress the spring, hold it all together with 6 million cable ties, again very sketchy, just so it takes a bit of the preload out the spring and you can waz the old rings around a bit easier. But it doesn't matter, because with the threads all cleaned and what have you, we can just spin the wheel of justice. So yes, we'll try and avoid the sketchy route if possible. Just one thing to note, doesn't apply to all springs, but it does apply to some. Make a note when you take the spring off, that's its orientation as it come off, but just give the bottom and the top a measure, because some are slightly tapered and obviously they need to go back on the same way round. So yes, that's just something to keep note. The rest of the stuff's in the degreasing, greasy bit. Yes. But yes, I think I might go gold on the spring. But that it requires quite a lot of cleaning up. I suppose I better get on with it then. Well, that looks better if you stand back here. Yes, as usual, didn't go to plan. The can of paint I'd got for the gold decided to use all its aerosol, and there's still half a can of paint in it, and I can't be arsed to muck about. I want all this back together again, and to be fair, you ain't going to see it, so that'll do. Push the bloody button. Right, everything's in, everything's greased up, everything's tightened up, and I did try and get the spring adjuster as low down as I could, so that's about as far as that one will go, but in the future, no doubt, new shock. I did find one the other week actually, but missed it. But yes, pennies are short at the moment, so it's going to have to wait. As is, it works. So yeah, that'll wrap it up for this one. Goodbye. Well, I think we can safely say enough shit came off of that shock. It looks like a Calcutta shithouse floor. Anyway, on other notes, shiny. Well, not shiny, but looks a lot better than the rusty shite mess it was. I've now got a nice firm rear end. Snigger. Yes, right. Well, I think that will actually do now, don't you? Anyway, enjoy your weekend.